Gravity, the invisible force that holds our world together. It keeps our feet on the ground, keeps the oceans in place, and keeps our planet orbiting the sun. But what if, in a single moment, Earth's gravity suddenly doubled? Tonight, on Curiosity Now, we explore how life, physics, and the planet itself would react if one of nature's most fundamental forces instantly became twice as strong. Before we begin, be sure to subscribe, like the video, and ring the notification bell. It really helps the channel grow and allows us to create more documentaries just like this. If gravity doubled right now, the first thing you would feel is weight. A person weighing 180 pounds would instantly feel like they weigh 360. Your legs would buckle. Most people would collapse immediately. Running? Impossible. Standing? Difficult. Breathing? A struggle. Because your lungs now weigh twice as much, making every inhale require more force. Buildings, bridges, vehicles. None of them were designed for this. Roadways would crack. Elevators would fail. Power lines would snap under the doubled load. And birds? They would fall from the sky instantly, unable to generate the lift needed to fly. In just the first hour, the world would be in chaos. Cars could still move, but slowly. Engines would strain. Tires would flatten slightly under the added pressure. Trees would experience enormous stress. Thousands would split or topple as their trunks fail to withstand the double downward force. Inside your body, your heart would be pumping twice as hard to push blood upward. Older adults, or people with heart conditions, would be at deadly risk. Every single liquid behaves differently under twice the weight. Rivers would flow faster. Water pipes could burst across major cities. Gravity is everywhere, and now it's crushing everything. By the end of the first day, we would see worldwide structural failures. Skyscrapers, designed with a delicate balance of force and tension, would begin to crack at their bases. Many would collapse outright. Bridges would snap like toothpicks. Most were not engineered for anything close to double the gravitational load. Hospitals would be overwhelmed with injuries. Broken bones, cardiac failures, severe fatigue, crushed injuries from falling debris. Animals would struggle too. Elephants, already massive, would have nearly double the stress on their legs. Insects, however, would do fine. Their small bodies are built to handle extreme force relative to size. The difference in survival becomes one of scale. Bigger organisms suffer more. Gravity doubling wouldn't just affect life on land, it would transform the oceans. First, water would compress slightly and weigh more. Wave energy would increase. Oceans would retreat slightly from coastlines, pulling tighter against Earth like a tightened band. Tides would still exist, but be dramatically smaller. Storms would become far more violent, because gravity affects how water vapor rises and how pressure systems form. Hurricanes would form faster, hit harder, and collapse more violently. Fish would struggle to swim upward, requiring far more energy to move vertically. Deep-sea creatures, adapted to extreme pressure, might fare better than anything near the surface. Doubling gravity means doubling the weight of the atmosphere. Air becomes denser. Breathing becomes harder, especially at higher elevations. Clouds would be forced lower. Storms would become more intense. Wind speeds would change dramatically. Aircraft? They would be grounded indefinitely. No airplane on Earth could generate enough lift to take off in double gravity. Satellites in low orbit would fall out of the sky within days, because Earth's gravity well would be deeper. GPS, communications, satellite TV, all gone. Human civilization would be forced backward technologically, almost overnight. Imagine your daily life in double gravity. Standing up from bed becomes an effort. Carrying groceries feels like hauling boulders. Stairs become nearly impossible. Sports, football, basketball, track become unrecognizable. High jumping? Forget it. Humanity would evolve a slower lifestyle, shorter commutes, reduced physical activity, redesigned cities. Architecture would change dramatically, wider foundations, squat buildings, ultra-strong steel, new materials engineered for extreme force. Jobs involving physical labor would be far more difficult, or impossible. Digital work becomes the dominant global economy. Earth's crust would respond violently. Tectonic plates would grind harder against one another. Earthquakes would spike worldwide. Volcanoes would erupt more frequently. As magma faces increased pressure, mountain ranges would slowly erode faster, crushed downward under the increased force. The entire planet becomes geologically more active. But there's an even bigger problem. If gravity stayed doubled for centuries, human evolution would begin to change us physically. We would become shorter, stockier, with denser bones, thicker muscles, and stronger hearts. Our skeletons would slowly adapt to the relentless downward pull. Children born into double gravity would grow up with different proportions. Generations later, humanity might resemble a stronger, sturdier version of ourselves. Astronauts? Interplanetary travel? No longer possible. Our bodies would be bound to Earth. Could humanity survive a permanent doubling of gravity? Yes, but barely. Population would shrink. Cities would change. Technology would regress. Human health and lifespan would shorten. Climate and oceans would transform. Earth's geology would become more violent. The world would be harsh, crushing, heavy, unforgiving. But humans are adaptable. We've survived ice ages, supervolcanoes, asteroid impacts, and mass extinctions. If gravity suddenly doubled, civilization would be shaken, but not erased. We would rebuild, we would adapt, we would endure. Before we end, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and ring the notification bell. It truly helps grow the channel and lets us continue producing high-quality documentaries for you.